Oh, goodness gracious. It's not the same thing at all.
I got 12 people agreeing with me out here in front of me, so.
But they weren't here. You were in that meeting. You were in that meeting where I said, this is what I am going to do.
I want
Okay?
to talk to them about this. I want to express and come up with a game plan.
And I'll give it this option, then we'll get that together, or something of that.
But I also said the option will have to have a time limit on it. And that time limit will be just a few days after we have the conversation. And he'll come back to me and say, yes or no, or whatever, his desire is. So if you don't want to vote on the budget, does that mean you're not hiring Danny Edwards?
Not tonight.
Is that what that means?
I think we gotta approve the budget
Hey,
first.
vote, yeah.
Well, we've got to deal with this motion, and there is a motion that Terry's called the question on. So the motion is to approve the budget.
And so
As
if we-
presented.
as presented, and if we say no, if I indicate no, approve this budget, we're gonna set another date
For a workshop.
for a workshop to discuss what we're gonna talk about, right? Is that the way I understand it?
We'll have to, if we want to budget at all.
Right, yeah, we do, I mean, it's not,
Yeah. It'll take a week.
there's no urgency, I just don't feel like, a little bit. Jerry, you got the motion?
No, I just had the question on this motion.
Okay,
He
Don
called
made the
question.
motion, Pat seconded the motion.
okay.
Dennis,
No.
Don, Calvin,
Yeah.
Pat,
Yes.
Ricky,
No.
Terry,
No.
Alan,
No.
So the budget does not carry,
Mo's, Pat.
and if I vote yes or no, it doesn't. If I vote yes, it's a tie, the budget doesn't pass. If I vote no, it's failed by one more. So it really doesn't matter at this point. Okay, so we do not approve the budget, and we'll set a budget workshop then at,
6 a.m. when?
yeah. All right, we need to set a budget workshop. Next meeting, I think, is October 7th.
How much notice do we have to give the public? I mean, we can do it as quickly as,
24, 48 hours, do it as quick as you can do it.
Let me ask this. Would y'all be willing to approve a budget except for these employment matters? Because there's some contracts that have to be signed. In fact, there's several that need to be signed. Would y'all be willing to do that?
I would make a motion to pass this budget.
Except for
except
employment matters?
for Employment matters.
Okay. Because-
Basically, the termination of employment.
Well, just, let's leave it at all employment, because we may have to make some adjustments, but this throws the budget into disarray, frankly. We're gonna have to make some changes in a lot of budget areas, employment-wise, to try and make the numbers fit, because we're gonna have deficits.
Well, we'll pull some of the surplus we divided up last meeting. Start trucking water in.
So what we need,
We've got the money.
what we need to do, is so that I can sign, so we can pay Waste Pro, so, we can pay the sheriff's department, stuff like that. We need to have a budget approved so that, we can conduct business.
I'll make a motion to approve the general fund budget with the exception of all employment matters.
And
I
keep in
thought
mind now,
Terry had already made that motion.
Okay.
Keep in mind.
just keep in mind, if it's all employment matters, that's got the raises on hold and everything. It's kind of got everything until we work all this employment stuff out, because it's blowing us up numbers, money-wise, pretty bad.
Pat, did you second?
Yes.
Dennis, Don, Calvin,
Yeah.
Pat,
Yes.
Ricky,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Alan.
Yes.
All right, so we
Today's
need,
money's the 30th. Or
Well, we just need to have it before the next council meeting, which will be the 7th. And
But do we owe it to Danny to tend to that sooner than?
We've got.
yeah, we,
Next Monday is the 30th, or the first Monday in November is the 4th.
Not on Dennis's calendar,
October, Terry.
October.
Excuse me.
What year is it?
we are in the.
Now we're on the same
situation.
page.
We are in the situation. Who, let's see, who was with us? You were there, Don, weren't you? You were there when we were talking to Danny?
Yeah.
Okay. We are in the situation, I told him, he was hired. I said, you know, council gave us the authority to do it, I'm not doing it. I said, it's the rubber stamp on the 23rd, so you're hired and you start. That is now not the case, so we're gonna have to notify, Danny, since, y'all don't wish to hire him yet. And we'll have to, work on that right away, we text him that.
I'm looking calendar, 30th.
I think it's Peter Vincent on the lot in there. The other,
So that will be October the 7th at 5:30,
The budget workshop?
budget workshop. And, I would just ask that at this budget workshop, everybody pay attention. Please. Because it's hard to come ask for approval and you get it, in fact, you know,
Yeah, that's a little insulting. I'll be honest with you. Because, I'm gonna tell you something.
Well,
I was listening at that meeting, okay? But it was a misunderstanding. And I admitted that, and I don't appreciate you calling me out like that. You understand?
I understand this, but I tell you what, I'm trying my best to do the right thing over and over and over again. And the sideshows, for no reason. Yep.
Well, I can say I honestly thought we was gonna vote tonight, because I talked to Karen about, I can't vote. You know, dude, honestly, I thought we was gonna vote. So I misunderstood too. You know, maybe I'm.
Ricky, I'm sorry I didn't explicitly, that's why I kept asking during the budget thing, here's the budget, here's Danny's. Notice there's no Curtis, here's the janitorial, here's the difference in the park and rec. That's what that was about. I just,
I mean, we wouldn't vote on, you know, maybe I was wrong for not bringing it up, but I thought we was gonna vote on all that before.
I was trying to get y'all to talk about it. And I couldn't get anybody to talk about
And I don't think nobody up here is against hiring that ever. I think the issue here, we'd like to see Curtis go out with a little dignity, go out at the end of the year and retire, and the public be happy, Curtis be happy, everybody be happy. I think that's the bottom line. I think we can fix this in 15 minutes.
Well, in all honesty, that's what I was trying to do last meeting too. Really. All right, is there any other council comment at this point? Dennis?
Is that the only budget that we are voting on tonight?
I'm glad you mentioned that. We do need to vote on those. Thank you very much. The State Capital Improvement Fund, that's where we're just emptying that out and putting that towards sidewalks. We don't have to have a budget on that. If you want one, somebody make a motion in a second and vote. We don't have to have it. If you want one.
No motion needed.
No motion needed. Library's kind of the same way. If y'all want a formal motion on that we adopt that budget, somebody make one, and we'll second it.
So moved. I'll make a motion.
Red second.
How you gonna run like this?
Make a motion to approve the library budget?
Yes.
Okay. And Alan second?
He did.
Dennis?
Yes.
Don? Calvin?
Yeah.
Pat?
Yes.
Ricky?
Yeah.
Terry?
Yes.
Alan?
Yes.
What about cemetery? You want to vote on the cemetery budget? Or you wanna leave it just like it is? It's one of the smaller ones that you said.
I think we need to prove them all to operate off of them.
At your pleasure, that's fine.
So
Motion
moved, I approve the cemetery.
Second.
Alan again, second. Dennis.
Yes.
Don.
Yeah.
Calvin.
Yeah.
Pat.
Yes.
Ricky.
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Alan.
Yes.
Sanitation, y'all wanna do the same thing?
Yes, sir. So moved.
Second.
Rick Morris this time, in a second.
Dennis. Don. Calvin.
Yeah.
Pat.
Yes.
Ricky.
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Alan.
Yes.
And sewer?
So moved.
Second.
The three we
Yeah.
Dennis. Don. Calvin.
Yeah.
Pat. Ricky.
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Alan.
Yes.
Okay, I don't think there's any others that we need to vote on. Okay. All right, thank you, Alan. Any more council comment? Any public comment?
I have a question.
Larry?
I found out today that South Point Bank only has to run that advertisement one time, and they ran it September the 18th. So
Where's the confusion coming in that they have to run it 3 times?
I just what I remembered, and I remembered wrong. That's only one. I looked it up
Well,
today.
you're not the only one.
I looked it up today. It's in FDIC rules and regulations. It says published once in the local newspaper. And I thought I couldn't find it on their website, so I just called them. Shelby County Report told me it ran September 18th.
Yeah, I saw it in the paper, in fact, I can't look it up.
All right, so anyway.
We got it highlighted in the report in my office.
Okay, so anyway, we're good to go, and hopefully, if nothing goes wrong, maybe 30 days to 6 weeks, we'll be good to go.
All right, I hope so, Larry, thanks. Sue?
Does the job that Curtis had need to be posted?
No.
Why not?
Why should he?
Any job you have in a city, or
Can.
city personnel
Can be,
should be posted
can be.
under the state law.
Can be.
I'm not going to swear to that, but I think it.
Well, I will tell you that the city of Chelsea has never posted a job. Never.
We got.
No, we're not, but I'm telling you, they're not doing it illegally, Karen.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm just looking at the moral issue in general. We, you know, and I know you get pissed off, and I'm sure my husband I'll get an earful when I get home. But, this is the thing.
He's got a
for me.
guarantee.
It's morally wrong. I have not, no, wait.
I don't do immoral things. Let me just tell you,
No, you
that
don't.
just aggravates me to death that you would say something like that. I'm trying my best to do the right thing, and everybody who's in that meeting would agree, I
Well,
hope.
undoubtedly, they were all asleep, or they didn't understand.
And
But, you know,
No, they weren't.
I was sitting there wide awake.
but that part, you know, that, the personal attack stuff is the part that's just hard to take.
It's just our
You know,
town.
when
It's
you-
just our town.
No,
just our
it's-
town.
So will Curtis come back to work tomorrow? I mean, is that how that works?
Tomorrow was never an issue.
Okay, so he's.
Tomorrow was never an issue.
Okay. So he'll just keep on working.
Tomorrow was never an issue.
I understand what you're saying. I'm asking you, so he'll continue with
What,
the sick leave.
what was said up here tonight?
I understand what you're saying.
What was said? What was said was that everything is the same until they want to change it. So right this minute, everything is the same. Is that what y'all said?
And let me say one more thing. I've known Danny Edwards all his life, and I'm gonna speak for Danny. Danny Edwards would never take a job that would take a job from this man. He would give him the opportunity to retire. Now, that's Danny, that's the Danny Edwards I know.
But nobody
And let me
just
tell you,
took away the.
there is
chance to
nobody
retire.
that would tell you when you wanted to retire. Nobody would have come in, Calvin, and said, you're gonna retire today. You retired when you wanted to.
Ms. Mayor, I don't think that there is a person in this room who has a problem about hiring Danny. Certainly I do not. But the fact that you have taken away an experienced person in order to make a slot for Danny is wrong. Now, I want Danny on board. I think he'll be an asset to the city. But I think that taking Curtis off in order to make that slot, I think is basically morally wrong. Maybe not legal. I'm not an attorney. But that I know what's right and I know what's wrong.
And I can respect that somewhat. However, having seen this go on for many, many years in the business world,
Nobody has said anything. Nobody has
That's not what I'm
written
talking
anything
about.
about
That's not what I'm
this.
talking about, Fred. In the business world, like it or not, in the right work state, people are replaced all the time. It happens every day. Happens every day. And you don't do it unless you carefully think it out, which I kind of thought we had. You don't do it unless you think it out, and you try to keep the human element in it and do the right thing when you can. But the bottom line is that it happens every day, all the time, and it is perfectly the correct thing to do when what you're supposed to do is maximize the benefit that either shareholders, taxpayers, whatever, get from a company, a town, or whatever. That's done every day, okay? And it's done by very moral people in very moral settings. And it is an everyday, multiple time occurrence, okay?
There are also multiple lawsuits from people who have been relieved from their jobs with having
And multiple ones that usually go nowhere.
no comments about them. You can't just fire a person by saying, I don't like your personality.
Yes, you
go
can.
on.
Yes, you can. That's actually perfectly legal.
And if that happened here, I would be there as a witness for the guy who got fired, because that's not right. You have to have a reason.
No, you don't, legally. And I know that's different from moral, but the way the business world works is, in a right to work state, okay, the best reason is no reason at all. Okay, and I know that sounds harsh, but that is the reality of how that works.
Well, things may be different now from when I was the mayor, but I was told by the attorneys that in order to fire a person, I had to have documentation or reason for doing it. There's no other way. And I think you fall under the same rule.
I just haven't had the same advice from the same attorneys I've talked to. So, but anyway, any other public comment?
All right. You know, I just don't think morality enters into it, because, I mean, you have the town of Wilsonville is a governmental body, but it's also similar to running a business. You have to, it's like, we used to always talk about being good stewards of the town's funds, and I don't know that morality has to enter into it. I think you have to do what you feel is the right thing. And yes, it's going to step on somebody's toes, it always does, but it's similar to running a business.
Well, see, I fall somewhere in between the two extremes. I do completely disagree with the view, oh, it's a moral issue, that's all it is, and it's somehow we're doing something immoral. I completely reject that. I'm a lot closer to what you just said,
Well-
but I try to do what you just said and also add the human element in there. That's why I came up with the offer of the part-time position.
Right.
And so I was trying to do what you said and what they said, and
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's hard to strike up an easy balance. You know, I worked for the federal government for 32 years. And believe me, it's hard to get rid of somebody, just like Lori
it's
Clark.
never at the level it is.
So that IRS lady, she retired today. And she was on paid administrative leave for the last 6 months. Now, here today, she's retired. But yeah, it's hard to get rid of somebody, but I
At
don't.
that level it is.
Yeah, and but I just don't think the moral part enters into it. Even though it is government, it's still kind of similar to running a business. And you have to make the right decision. And yeah, some people's, you know.
In my opinion, falls closer to yours, but I see your point and I appreciate it.
Who we adjourn?
Internship, Missouri, on around off Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. The captain was on the first whaleboat that left there without a job.
I'm not sure I'll follow you.
I made a motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
I didn't even hear it.
Council's already-
You wanted to speak up.
Who made the motion?
I think Calvin did.
That's the way to start with.
All right, thank you,
Who was the
everybody.
second?
I will.
I'll 30.
All in favor, go home.